Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm going to be doing an anime review on One Piece. Now, right off the bat, I want to get into the first half. Am I the only one that felt like that first half was done right? I mean, it felt very emotional, honestly. And that's one time I feel like One Piece's pacing really complements certain scenes. Nobody can deny, when it comes to One Piece in its feels and emotional scenes, usually One Piece's anime knows how to portray those properly, especially with the music, the voice acting, and the expressions of the characters. That's exactly what this episode did, and I really enjoyed it. I could see how a couple of people or fellow people in our community, they can probably think that the first half of this episode was rather slow, and in turn, I guess it was. It was a slow part of this episode, but I felt like it built up the tension and feels of the episode when you see King Riku actually reveal himself, that he is actually part of the tournament. He's been fighting for all these years, and supposedly this dude was dead, but he's not dead, and he's just been watching his daughter suffer for all these years. And then you have the revelation at the end of this episode where the toy soldier reveals that he is the real father to Rebecca. And so the toy soldier also has a relationship with King Riku himself. And so it's really sad if you think about this right now, because this entire episode really betrayed those emotions and feels, and there was some good progression if you think about it. I mean, the big parts I think this episode progressed in, let's see here, you find out the backstory of the Dwarves clan, you get to find out like all the tragic hell that they had to go through with Doffy's family, for instance. You find out about King Riku, how he's still alive, and you see, there's still soldiers that care about him, because you even see some Pacific toys bow down to him, and you find out most likely those were the soldiers that probably served underneath him, which really makes it tragic. But another thing that really pops up this episode is we find out how toys are made. Like, for instance, in the middle of this episode where we see Don Chinjiao and the gang talking, we see one of his fellow subordinates, Sai, just get dragged up into the freaking air, and you see how he gets turned into, like, this monkey toy. And so we felt a first glimpse of how people get turned into toys, and we get to see exactly how they act. For instance, Sai says in this episode, after he gets transformed, that he cannot control his body, and it doesn't look like he can actually talk either. And so it shows you that these toys are controlled, they cannot disobey the family, they cannot harm any humans, they have to listen to these rules, then they cannot defy them. That's exactly what we learned in this episode. So personally, I enjoyed the episode. It had a lot of good things going down in it. Animation quality, it was good in some parts. It was an average animation quality episode. It wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, and I mean, it complemented some scenes, and I do like the entire moment with the animation where you get to see, Doffy's backstory, especially when you see the dwarves just running and all that. That was a really cool scene I liked. Personally, I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10, honestly. It was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of feels with it. King Riku, actually just getting to see how he was alive and seeing how he acted around, his fellow men really got to me. So tell me your thoughts about this episode of One Piece, everybody. I mean, did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? What did you feel about, the toy soldier being Rebecca's father? I mean, did you expect that? Let me know in the comments below. And how do you feel about King Riku's tragic past and the dwarf's tragic past of how they were pretty much just used as slavery? Like, King Riku saves them from slavery, and King Riku says to the dwarves that they can steal anything they want from the kingdom, and he'll make, the legend that they're fairies. So how do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments below. I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.